First rep for Dalton Moon in the red gloves. On the other side is Kallon Curtis, who will swing with blue. This amateur 140-pound catchweight bout is brought to you by Market Express, Price's locally owned and operated convenience store, tagged with top-tier gasoline and premium diesel. Market Express, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Both guys looking ready.
Dalton Moon told me it's a kill or be killed mentality here tonight, expecting deep waters as we get straight into the action.
Going right to a jumping guillotine there off the takedown attempt. Looks like he might have that locked up.
Dalton Moon already looking to make quick work. Tied underneath the chin, but Curtis privy to it as he tries to step over.
Great defense against that guillotine there.
Joel, that was tight.
That was really tight. Now he's got to start working is getting his head out there, head out from there, and keep that pressure up against the fence. Looks like they're wrist fighting there, hand fighting.
Highlighted in the scouting report for Kallon Curtis to wrestle. Dalton Moon separates and tries to throw some action upstairs. Back in on the takedown, Moon immediately back to the guillotine.
Back to that guillotine immediately.
Corner of Curtis calling for that Von Flue choke. Gonna need to step that leg over, Joel, but not a bad idea if Dalton Moon's going to keep throwing up those guillotines.
Definitely not a bad idea. It's a very good defense off the guillotine, and he did well at that defense there. Keeping that shoulder pressure there in the jaw.
Just about the halfway point of round one. Curtis, a couple of takedown attempts, and now moving to mount. Moon in a world of trouble here. He started off hot with that tight guillotine. The second one, not as much.
Yeah, I'm hoping it didn't burn his arms out. Keeping that dominant position there is Curtis. Looking to position to start causing damage. Landing some heavy shots on top.
Moon frantic on the bottom, finds a reversal.
Good reversal there from Moon.
Back to the standing we go. Moon straight into the action, head hunting with the small windows he gets before Curtis starts to drape back on top of him.
Curtis looking at possibly a guillotine there.
Nice
Landing
knee up
some knees there.
Dalton Moon looks for a quick protest of a low blow. But we play on here. A foot stomp by Curtis.
Good knee attempt there from Moon. Good knee from Curtis in the clinch.
Stiff, echoing shot straight up the breadbasket in favor of Curtis.
Curtis wanted to get the fight back to the ground.
Another flooring for Curtis. Moon finds himself on the bottom.
Curtis looking to pass. Curtis doing a really good job of keeping control on top and landing some heavy shots when he does throw.
10-second clapper did go. Waning seconds here of the first frame. Top of the second round we go. Two more fights on the prelims following this one.
Good counter kick there off the right hand.
Curtis cracks the body. Able to close the distance once again.
Finds a single and sweeps him down.
Dalton Moon active on bottom. Little bit of separation, but Curtis right back on top. Suffocating pressure by the fighter out of Price, Utah.
Yeah, and that wrestling pressure is no joke either. Looking to pass is Curtis, trying to get to more dominant position to start raining down some punches. He's doing good isolating that hip there.
Dalton Moon showed on the screen just a moment ago, but he's breathing heavily out of that mouth. Just trying to find some air and some space to get some offense going as Curtis passes to the top.
But Dalton's not out of this fight yet, Blake. He's still causing some movements, and he's almost out right now.
Able to scramble. Curtis, keen to it, and still finds himself on top.
Good counter wrestling there from Curtis.
Another note about this fight, again, we talked about it earlier, but these two guys weren't scheduled to fight each other as of 3-4 weeks ago. This is relatively new for
Good right
both.
hand there from Moon.
As Moon separates and the of Curtis. Back to that wrapped-up guillotine.
You can hear his corner tell him to use it to sweep. We'll see if he goes for that attempt. Sits up to readjust. Let's see if he can pull it off here, Blake.
This is a solid spot for Moon. His best look since that opening exchange.
Definitely. And Curtis does a good job getting out.
Popping out the head. Moon now pulling this out of his grappling bag of tricks. Looks like a rubber guard at Joel, but to pull that off in MMA.
Tough to pull that off, especially when you're flat on your back. You know, if you're not that flexible, see how he readjusts to his right hip. If he would have done that when he went for that rubber guard, he would have been able to get that leg in front a little bit easier there, I believe.
Also could just be a really flashy triangle as well, potentially, but I don't think that's what it was.
Absolutely.
In case anyone wants to talk about that after the fact. I've been DM'd a few times. Moon working that butterfly guard on the left side. Dave Sellistead going to separate the two fighters. No nonsense from Dave Sellistead. A little bit of work going on down there, but wants to keep this one standing as Kallon Curtis has been successful on the takedown prowess thus far.
I'd like to see Dalton Moon start circling off the cage a little bit. That's when those takedowns are really coming into play to this fight, when Dalton has his back against the cage.
Second of 9 here tonight. Top of the third round we go. Dalton Moon. A couple of feints to the leg kick. I like seeing that, Joel.
Oh, I definitely love seeing leg kicks too, Blake.
Back to the body. The inside trip successful
like he might
for
have
Curtis.
a triangle attempt coming. Like to see Dalton grab his right shin. Pull that over. Let's see here. Trying to set that up. I'd like to see Dalton use his left hand to grab his right shin and fold that. There we go, right there.
Bring it further across that back, right?
Yeah, bring it further across the back. But he's in a good position right now. If he can keep that, not burn his legs out, he's going to lock it up.
Moon still a little bit shallow, but it seems to be affecting the offense of Curtis. We hear the corner of Curtis right next to the broadcast booth giving instructions. Steve Ergel got a handful of fighters on this card here tonight. But Kallon Curtis
looks like Dalton might switch the arm lock there.
Closely flirting with an escape, but now needs to exit the elbow, able to escape. And with that, Dalton Moon's best look is up fast. Curtis effective back up top.
I'd like to see Dalton start trying to create some sort of movement here. He's pretty heavy up on his back. If he could just tripod up, I feel like Curtis will fall forward.
Under 90 seconds to decide this one in what has clearly been Curtis domination in terms of the grappling department. One hook in for the prize fighter.
Good control here from Curtis. Looking for that rear naked choke. Dalton might be able to get out.
Moon seems to have his wits about him. Still defensively sound. Curtis on bottom, in control. Moon looking to escape. Some solid control by Curtis in the waning moments of this third and final round, Joel.
Yeah, I was going to say, very good control, back control there that he's got. Sticking to him. Good fight from both of these guys. See if Dalton has a little bit left in him to start getting up. Reverse the position.
Final moments, finishing up as it looks like we will point towards the scorecards. As the 10-second clapper goes, all Kallon Curtis through 9 minutes, primarily due to the control time, Joel.
Absolutely, I'm going to go with Curtis on this one just because of the control time. Really good control, really good ground game that he's got.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27 for your winner. Out of the blue corner, Kallon Curtis!